What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Zero Lab. Today we're taking a look at another Pokemon TCG Pocket deck, but this one's really unique. We're trying to take two of the best decks in the game right now and combine them into one. Articuno with Misty has been a very strong strategy in TCG Pocket currently, but Mewtwo EX with that Gardevoir line has also been very strong. The problem that Mewtwo has is that it takes some time to set up. You have to evolve your alts up into Corellia, up into Gardevoir, so that you can start attaching energy with that Psy Shadow ability on the Gardevoir that lets you attach extra energy per turn to your Psychic Pokemon in the active, so that we can start hitting big numbers with that Mewtwo EX. However, the problem that Articuno has is that sometimes it can't hit those big numbers, Blizzard capping out at 80 damage. So the question is, can we combine these two decks to boost the effectiveness of both of them? Articuno EX allows us to have a little bit of a tanky Pokemon in our active spot that with that Misty supporter might be able to get bigger attacks off early in the game while we evolve up into our Ralts, Corellias, and Gardevoirs, and then sweep in the late game with a big Mewtwo EX. So the deck list that we're playing is 2 Articuno EX, a 2-2-2 Ralts, Corellia, Gardevoir line with 2 Mewtwo EX. The trainers that round out this list are 2 X Speeds, 2 Pokeballs, 2 Research, 2 Sabrina, and 2 Misty. So we're going to jump into a few games here and see if we can't get a few wins with this unique deck. I've already played a couple of games with it, and I am 2-0 so far, so let's hope that that continues. Really, the key to this deck is drawing into your Misties early, attacking with that Articuno early, and then having that Mewtwo EX to sweep in the late game. So we'll see if we're able to catch our opponents by surprise with sort of a unique deck here. Now, one of the things to note is I am currently have my energy zone set to have both psychic and water energies in it. I will say that there's a chance that you just cut down to water energies. That can make a few things a little bit weird. So when you have just water energies in your energy zone, the Gardevoir can still attach psychic energies from your energy zone, even though they don't randomly generate in there. So that is cool. We're going to play a research here. But sometimes you just don't have all the energy you need to attack with your Mewtwo EX when you can't attach a psychic energy for turn to it when you just have waters in your energy zone. So that's one thing to note. You could kind of play around with that and see what you like better. The reason you would want to just have waters in your energy zone is obviously Blizzard attacks for just 3 water energy, so it doesn't have any colorless in that attack cost. So if you're manually attaching up into your Articuno while you're trying to evolve your Ralts and get your Mewtwo going, you might just want to have water energies in your energy zone, but that is certainly something that you can test out. We have a pretty good start here. We're just evolving up into our Corellia. We're going to Misty and see if we can get a few heads to start powering up this Articuno. We've got 1 heads there and 1 tails, so 1 water energy will come out of that energy zone onto our Articuno, attach for turn onto the Mewtwo EX, and then we are going to Psychic Sphere this Charmander. Looks like they do have a Charmeleon on their bench getting powered up. Obviously, they haven't found that Moltres yet, which is really the main way that this Charizard deck powers up their Charizards. That Pokeball should find them a Moltres now, though, and we will see if our opponent is able to start swinging with that that Moltres EX to power up that benched Charmeleon. So we will want to hopefully attack with Articuno this turn. Articuno's Blizzard doing bench damage will help chip away at the HP on that benched Charizard, so that eventually our Mewtwo EX might be able to one-shot it. Mewtwo caps out at 150, and so we got to really draw off that red card. But we want to chip away at that Charizard EX because we can't one-shot it with that 180 HP. We're hoping our opponent flips a few tails here on this Inferno Dance. 2 heads, so that they're going to have 3 energies on that Charizard. We are one-shotting the Moltres EX this turn because we did get our Gardevoir off of that red card. We're going to Pokeball here and hope to find our other Mewtwo. That is great. And then we are going to Psy Shadow to our active Mewtwo and Psy Drive to knock out this Moltres EX. We're in slightly a tough spot because our opponent will be able to attach for turn and one-shot our Mewtwo EX with that Charizard, but then it will take them a couple turns to power up that Crimson Storm again. And by then we should be able to knock it out with our own Mewtwo EX. So we'll see what our opponent chooses to do here. If they don't use that Crimson Storm, they're in trouble. If they do it, they're discarding 2 Fire Energy, and it'll take 2 turns to power that up again. So we should be all right since we have our Gardevoir. Crimson Storm coming down from our opponent. Going to knock out our Mewtwo EX, but we're just going to go into our other Mewtwo EX, and we will Psychic Sphere this turn for 50, and then we should be able to Psy Drive for the knockout on the following turn. Attaching a Water Energy for turn onto the Mewtwo, but that's fine because the Psychic Sphere does take colorless energy as part of its attack cost. And we will Psychic Sphere here. We have a good hand. We've got the X Speed to retreat if needed, and we have the Sabrina to bring up a benched Pokemon if for some reason that is needed as well. Our opponent evolving up into that Charmeleon. Attach for turn onto the Charizard EX, and an Arcanine EX coming down to evolve that Growlithe. We see the Slash from our opponent here, but that will be the game. We just need to Psy Shadow and attach for turn onto our Mewtwo EX to get the knockout here. And there's the concession from our opponent. So 1-0 so far with this deck. We didn't really get to utilize the Articuno in that game, but that's because we just had such a fast start with the Mewtwo. The Articuno is more for the games where we have a slow start and we're not able to find our Gardevoir evolutions as quickly as we would like to. So we'll jump into a second game here and see if we can win another one. We did hit one heads off of a Misty in that game, and we were red carded out of our other Misty, so we might have been using that Articuno in that game if they hadn't red carded us into our Gardevoir. That was really nice. Tails looks like we're going second again, and that is fine. Starting the Mewtwo, have a Misty and 2 Pokeballs in hand. So it would be nice if one of those Pokeballs finds an Articuno. Looks like we're going up against the Pikachu deck. Nice that we got to go second. That really slows down the Pikachu when they have to go first and they don't get that energy attachment turn 1. Research from our opponent here, going to give them a large hand to start with. And we'll see what they're able to put together on this first turn. Pokeball, we'll find them a random basic from their deck. Bench that Voltorb, bench a Blitzel, and pass over to us. Draw the Gardevoir for turn. We are going to Pokeball here, hope to hit a Ralts and an Articuno off of these 2 Pokeballs. First Pokeball finds us the Ralts. Second Pokeball, let's hope it finds us the Articuno. And there it is. All right, we are going to bench Articuno and Ralts. And then we are going to Misty onto this Articuno. And 1 heads, 2 heads, 3 heads. All right, 3 heads. That Blizzard is fully powered up. We'll attach for turn to the Mewtwo. X Speed, retreat out of the Mewtwo. And we got the turn 1 Blizzard with this Articuno EX. That is so sick. Blizzard going to do 80 to the active and 10 to each of their benched Pokemon. And I bet our opponent is fuming right now. It is so annoying when your opponent gets the turn 1 Misty for triple heads. Insane. Attach for turn onto that Pikachu. Probably going to see an X Speed retreat here. Sabrina. We're going to send up that Ralts because we can just attach retreat out of it. What do they choose to do here? Zapdos EX coming to the bench. I imagine we will see a retreat out of this Pikachu. Don't want to hard retreat it, though, because then they lose that energy attachment, but it looks like they're forced to do that. So that gives us even more time now. We will have to attach for turn retreat out of our Ralts, unfortunately, but that is fine. We have another Misty in hand, but we don't have our other Articuno, so we're just going to keep Blizzarding here. And this is putting us in a very good spot. Research coming down. So that means we'll be able to get an attachment for turn onto our Mewtwo EX, start powering up that Psychic Sphere attack. It would be really nice to draw into the Kirlia as well, so we can get Gardevoir on the following turn. Attach for turn onto the Zapdos EX and just a peck here for 40 onto our Articuno with that weakness. But first they're going to utilize that potion, start healing up that bench to Pikachu. And there's the peck for 40 because of that weakness. Alright, draw for turn gets us our Ralts. I'm actually not going to bench that. For now, we do have the Misty in hand, so I would actually like to get our other Articuno going and save that spot for that Articuno. So knockout on our opponent's Zapdos EX. And they cannot knock out Articuno this turn because they don't have the energy already on the Pikachu. So we should just probably win this game next turn. Another Pikachu EX coming down. I guess we could see the retreat into that other Pikachu EX just to tank another hit, but again, we're in a fine spot here. Potion going to heal some damage off of that bench to Pikachu EX. And pass back over to us. We have the Sabrina for game. I don't know why I attached there. Sabrina is just going to be the game there for us. Blizzard knocking out anything on their bench right now. And there is the concession. So 2-0 with the Articuno Mewtwo deck. Going to go into a game 3 here. See if we can go 3-0 today. 34 wins out of 45 now in this emblem event. We are getting there towards that gold emblem as well, which is exciting. Jumping into the third game. Let's go 3-0. Found our first opponent. Or first opponent found an opponent. And looks like we're going second again. That's great. Hopefully we can get the turn 1 Misty once again. We're going to start Ralts. If that Pokeball finds us Articuno, we'll play Misty. Otherwise, we do have Research for turn, which is great. Looks like we're going up against another Pikachu EX, so very happy to have gone second in this game. Research from our opponent. Going to draw them a few cards. 2 Pikachus, 2 Voltorbs in play. Pass back over to us. We have the Curly in hand. That's great. Pokeball going to come down. Finds us another Ralts, so we will bench that Ralts. Bench the Mewtwo. Attach for turn onto the Mewtwo. Research, draw 2. Another Pokeball. We have the Gardevoir in hand. We're going to play that Pokeball in case we get red carded. And then we will bench this Articuno EX. And we will end our turn there. Attach for turn onto the Pikachu EX from our opponent. Research going to draw them 2 more cards. So they've played both of their researches now. We'll see if they... Alright, so they evolve into that Electro and just leave it active. That is fine. We got both of our Curlias. We are going to Misty to start this turn. Tails. Shoot. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna evolve the benched Curlia, and then we will evolve the active as well. Our active is going to get knocked out, so we are going to attach return to the Mewtwo EX because that will be able to one-shot the opposing Pikachu next turn. So Pikachu should come up and take this knockout on our Curlia. We have Gardevoir in hand, then to Psy Shadow to Mewtwo, plus attach for turn, and that will knock out the Pikachu. So we're in a good spot here. They're taking the first prize, but then we will take 2 the turn after that, and they won't have anything powered up to respond. Here comes the Circle Circuit. That'll take the knockout on our Curlia. Send up our Mewtwo EX. Psy Shadow will get the second Psychic we need out of the Energy Zone. On to that Mewtwo EX. Attach for turn on to Mewtwo. And then Psy Drive will take the knockout. Does discard the 2 Psychic Energies, but we have Psychic Energy in our Energy Zone for the next turn, plus the Psy Shadow. Our opponent could try to stall a little bit with a Sabrina, but that's not going to bother us too much. There comes the other Electrode. Zapdos EX coming into play. X Speed going to allow them to retreat out of that Pikachu. Into Electrode. Do we see the Sabrina come down? If not, we just win here. Waiting. Attach for turn on to the bench Pikachu. And there is the concession. So 3-0 with the Mewtwo Articuno deck. This is super fun. I think this is a unique way to play the deck. We got a lot of value in that second game out of the Articuno as well. And it's just nice to have something else to tank in the deck and attack a little bit while you're trying to set up those Curlias and Ralts. I don't know that this is the best way to play the deck. There is an argument for maybe removing the Psychic Energies from the Energy Zone and just having the Waters. But taking a look at the deck list again, I think this is a lot of fun. If you want to play sort of a unique version of Mewtwo, sort of combine 2 decks together, play those Misties, have those coin flips, but also have the Mewtwo to clean up with some big damage later in the game, you can definitely give this deck a shot. But if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.